All right, greetings everybody. We are in Schneider Electric's booth at the Hannover Messe show 2025, and we're in a digital transformation corner here with Friedrich Richter. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so talking about digital transformation, many or some of the manufacturers hesitate to start on the process, particularly the small to mid-sized companies. What do you tell them to get them on this journey?
The reason they sometimes hesitate is that they have tried it. Right? They've deployed a number of isolated use cases and technologies, and they've then failed to see the business impact and the return on investment. So they're now hesitating maybe on the how to take the next step. What they need to be aware of is if they don't embrace that technology and that digital transformation, maybe they won't be here in the next 10 years. The Harvard Business Review have made this study looking at companies since 2000, the year 2000. Out of the 500 companies, I think 52% are either went bankrupt, were acquired, or disappeared. Right. So because of digital disruption, so you have to seize it. Right. So you have to go to move on with it. And those industrial players who actually embrace smart operations that come with industrial IoT, that comes with industrial software, automation, advanced analytics, or AI, actually they are making step change, enhancements that you could only dream of 10 years ago, right? So basically that's the answer. Like, don't hesitate, because if you hesitate too long, the world is moving fast, right?
Change or get bankrupt. So now, once you start, the next challenge is scaling. How do you go from a pilot project to the real business impact?
So we've seen this a lot, right? So some people call this the POC purgatory, right? So you try. Maybe even for like bigger companies, you try multiple use cases, and a bit in an isolated way. Sometimes it's the plant manager that has this idea and that does it on his own. Another one. It's absolutely key. What we see is like 70% plus of companies that enter in digital transformation fail to scale or struggle to scale and to get systematic return on investment out of that transformation. And that ranges, you mentioned mid-tier to small companies. That's also very true for large companies. And often they get support. For those who can afford it, they get external support, but it stops after the strategy piece, because then there's no one that has really the experience of understanding what use case will actually work, what will be the impact, how to measure it, and then how to scale, how to implement it, right? So a lot of those capabilities actually are not present inside those customers. Again, I want to mention a survey. I think 52% of surveyed companies say that they are somewhat equipped with dealing with digital transformation. So that's why digital transformation is a term we've been hearing about for years, right? Also under the Industry 4.0 umbrella. Why are we still talking about it? Is just because we are at this point where it's difficult to scale. So we can support. We as Schneider can support to scale. We've done it with our own factories. We've run a smart factory program for I would say close to a decade now. That got us to working with the World Economic Forum. We get the Lighthouse Label, etc. But what is it that customers like when we talk about our experience is they have someone that talks the same language. There's in front of them. There's someone who understood how to build the structure in place with the program management, how to engage with the people, how to bring future-proof technology that allows to remain flexible in front of all the challenges that the world is throwing at us, and that requires that you are super flexible and agile in the way you deal with them.
So let's double click on that. That's my Schneider Electric Global Lighthouse. Maybe expand a little bit on what was one early decision that proved to be critical for scaling successful in that.
So in our journey, one first decision was to bring all the factories under one organization, one operation, right? So which is our global supply chain. The model before was the factories were reporting into operations, and with that came the ability to structure one program with one program lead, with introducing standardization in the way we measure performance, in the way we calculate KPIs, in the way we pick technologies, etc. So it's not that it was mandatory to deploy that technology, but we kind of embedded it as part of this one performance system, whereby every plant manager had to deliver on this performance objective, and they were given a toolbox, what we call the digital core model, to be able to leverage the technology that enable them to get to that. So that that program approach is super important, and I think that is something that we also highly recommend to our customers.
Right, and my understanding that the outcome of that is you've also created a sort of a toolbox that's external, available maybe as a consultant service. Maybe expand on that to customers. So what you've learned within your own factory is a model for other customers, right?
Absolutely. So thanks for raising the question. Indeed, so we are a technology provider, right? In automation, in software as well, right? So we bring all the components to actually build that smart factory, and we use a lot of that technology in-house as well. We basically say we drink our own champagne, and then as part of the program I described earlier about that smart factory program, where we have now 80 smart factory out of the 200 factory and distribution centers we have. We've used some of that technology, and when customers, and then we got eligible to the Lighthouse label from the World Economic Forum. We have now actually there are two labels. One is the Sustainable Lighthouses, and the one is the 4 Industrial Revolution Lighthouses. That was the first one actually. And we were part of the first wave of lighthouse references, and we've added more. And that has sparked curiosity among our customers. And sometimes, so we invite them to come and visit, and what strikes them is how successful we were to actually combine the technology evolution as well as the transformation, the change management, because they see people right on the shop floor. It's not like these lighthouses are not greenfield plants with totally autonomous, fully equipped with new machines. It's actually sometimes 100 years old plants. So old technology, to your previous question, right, that we were able to bring to that lighthouse level, right? So, and now I come to your questions, because they were coming to visit our plants and asking all these questions, and we said, okay, maybe we can actually help you benefit from our experience, and therefore we articulated that digital transformation service or digital transformation program, whereby we do a number of things. First, we do assessments, digital maturity assessments. So we do walkthroughs in their plant, and we review a number of points, because every customer, every site is different. So we cannot take an assumption of what is the starting point. Second, we articulate the roadmap, the vision, and the roadmap, and that's what we call our core model. So the digital core model, which are all the use cases and the technologies that support them. And we then look at what is the step-by-step implementation. Then we can support with also a program structure. It's very important that you have a program approach to keep the cadence, to not only focus on one side, but scale, across different sides. And I'll come back on this point as well. And finally, we don't leave our customers, with a nice set of slides, very glossy, etc. We do that, of course, and we quantify the value, and the value quantification is experience-based because we've done it. It's not like theoretical. And then the last thing is we do a consulting to service, which means we offer we have the capability to implement for them. So that from value identification to value realization, the time is as short as possible. Because if I was just with the customer, on the fair earlier this morning, where they had, one consultancy shaped for them a program very ambitious, 2025, 2030, with like transformation pillars, and like high quantification gains. And when we asked where do you stand, I said, well, it's moving, but it lacks the cadence, it lacks the focus on certain areas, and they raised the question of the benefits of such program. So the difference with us is where maybe we maybe focus more on on the operation side, but we come with a full turnkey approach, whereby there's the identification and then there's realization. And I think that's what really really stand out in our approach, and that so far that's how our customers respond to that. And I just wanted to I put in a corner like the scaling approach. Sometimes the question of customers is like, oh, I have this 20 or 30 plants. Should I go and build one lighthouse, or should I start to scale as soon as I can? And we have an approach of, we can help you build a lighthouse if you want. In some countries, it's a case in Asia, for example, you can get subsidies for government if you bring your plant to a certain, lighthouse level. So certainly we can support our customer in that journey. But what we believe has more impact is to identify those use cases that have proven return on investment, in a matter of months or less than 2 years, and just if it's there, just scale, roll it out across sites, and that's where the program approach is important.
Thank you, Friedrich. Now, let's go back a little bit about your people aspect. You mentioned 100 years old company, 100 years old plants, some of them. As AI becomes more embedded in the operation, how do you prepare those teams to trust and collaborate with digital tools, not fear them?
A great question. So and if you allow me, I would like to also highlight what are some of the key ingredients of a successful digital transformation, just shortly, because the people aspect is one of them. First is the vision and the roadmap. Second is the people, right? So like for the change management. Third is deploying future-proof technologies, like with the right data structure, with the other open system that you don't construct data silos again. Fourth is continuous improvement, and I'll come back on that as well, because that your question triggered that thought. And fifth is the collaboration. Have a long-standing partner that helps you, because it's a multi-year journey, right? So you should not again leave your customer. So coming back on the people side, so in point 2 and number 4, when I visit those plants, what strikes me most is how the operators have actually adopted the technology and make theirs. And sometimes you say, on this dashboard, I asked to have that KPI added, or change that color, or maybe do that graph in this way, because that's how I find it more efficient for me. So that's what you want to get to, right? So they really make the technology theirs, and how do you achieve that? 2 ways, or two aspects. One is you need to have that continuous improvement mindset. So also what we build on in our factories is on the lean management principles and the lean management culture. The continuous improvement has been there. So you always kind of see what you can do better, what you can do more, etc. Right? So So you build on that continuous improvement mindset, and second, you associate the people and the employee in the change, in the transformation, that they are part of the solution. Actually, like how can we? Where do you spend more time now? Or where do you waste your time? Or and if AI can help compress that time significantly, then are you interested to learn this new capability? So we deploy, we repurpose some of the roles, and and that's part of the success. And I think again here, I think it varies from one geography to another. I think it's very true for Europe and US. I mean, the Western world, maybe where you have aging population in those factories, where that people change. In Asia or Africa, I have customers that say it's not a problem. Adoption is not a problem because average age is 22 years old in the factory. So they are hungry for technology. So of course, then you need to, like when you're a global company, you need to adapt to that diversity.
On that note, I want to close with asking one question, one lesson you've learned from helping customers that every leader should take to heart in 2025.
I think it's this program thinking, right? So again, I was with we meet customers here, and that's a conversation we have because they come and they buy technology from us, software, digital, sometimes hardware as well, and often I see the pace, the cadence is not there, right? So if you want to become that digital player that disrupts the market, or you avoid to be disrupted, then you need to have the cadence. So it's like elevating the program, bring it to the right level in the company, structure it as a program, which means it's multi-country, it's multi-site, it's structured, and the cadence with a clear objective to capture the value and a clear understanding on how to measure that and make sure it's there. So that's really the leitmotiv of our C-level conversations is that programmatic approach.
Got it. Friedrich, thank you so much for sharing your insights. And if you're in the audience have questions, feel free to leverage the hashtag you see on the screen. And if you're in Hannover, stop by the Schneider Electric booth.
Lucian, thank you very much.